Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, now the government is implementing a policy to just stay home because of the COVID-19 or coronavirus. However, the increasing case of coronavirus, the Indonesian government is also implementing a new regulation, namely PSBB. PSBB is an acronym for Large-Scale Social Restrictions. PSB is a term such as health quarantine in Indonesia, which is a mean by restricting areas suspected of being infected with a disease or being contaminated with a virus. As based on Government Regulation Number 21 of 2020, Article 1, it is explained that a large-scale social restriction or restriction on certain activities in an area suspected of being infected with coronavirus or COVID-19. This means that PSBB can be considered capable of speed countermeasures while preventing the spread of coronavirus, which is increasingly widespread in Indonesia. So, today is motion is this House will apply PSBB until the end of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the purpose of this PSBB is to prevent the widespread spread of public health emergencies or the so-called KKM that occurs between people in a certain area. PSBB might be called regional health quarantine in addition to quarantine of homes and hospitals. Then, what is the difference between PSBB and social distancing? Ladies and gentlemen, PSBB can be said to apply far more stringent regulation for the community. Then, what are the things that need to be limited during this PSBB? First, activities in schools and workplaces. Schools are terminated and carried out at home with effective media, and the process of working at work is also replaced by working at home except for the military or police. They must work with a minimum number of employees and continue to prioritize prevention efforts spread of disease. The second is activity at a public place or facility. As long as the PSBB takes place, activities at a public place or facility in the form of restriction on the number of people and physical distancing. Restrictions are excluded in places such as supermarkets, markets, shops, or places for the sale of medicines and medical equipment, food needs, essential goods, fuel oil, and energy, health service facilities, or other facilities in the context of fulfilling health service. Public places or facilities to fulfill the basic needs of other residents, including sport activities. The third is socio-cultural activities. As with activities in public places or facilities, restriction on socio-cultural activities must also be carried out in the form of a ban of the code. This prohibition is also guided by the views of official institutions recognized by the government and legislation. Ladies and gentlemen, the government has implemented this PSBB in 20 regions in Indonesia, starting from Banjarmasin, Tarakan, Bandung, Bogor, Jakarta, etc. Then, is it effective for the application of this PSBB? After the implementation of this PSBB in various regions, the government tested whether it was effective or not. It turns out that in Jakarta, the results have a reduced impact of coronavirus infection every day. For East Java, the average percentage of virus infection reduction of included. Ladies and gentlemen, with the implementation of this PSBB, I asked the opponent government agreed to the implementation of the PSBB to be applied until the end of 2020 or after the peak of the coronavirus is cleaned from the infected. It is hoped that the PSBB will be able to protect people from the transmission of COVID-19 to the latest case. However, of course, there is no successful policy without the cooperation of the people themselves. Therefore, it is hoped that with the implementation of the PSBB, the community will also contribute and obey the government so that the spread of COVID-19 or coronavirus can stop.
Alright, so I'm HAKIM RIDHONI and I'm here as the opening opposition. So ladies and gentlemen, from the opening government argument, I can actually see the intention to sort out this pandemic issue by keep on sticking with PSBB until the end of the year to prevent the spread of COVID-19. However, I feel like that is not something necessary regarding to the fact that the President Jokowi Widodo, alongside the medical team from the capital city, has been predicted the pandemic will probably end in July, which is at the middle of the year. So why bother to keep the protocol of PSBB until the end of the year if the issue will probably end right before that? I also came along with another reason why I strongly refuse with the motion, because as we can see right now, for those who are in need, this might be a tough time for them if the protocol will keep going on longer. In our economy perspective, Sri Mulyani has ever stated that our economy isn't doing very well since this PSBB has running. It might be the best way to prevent the spread of COVID-19, but please consider if our people will start taking this as a serious issue and will stay at home until the meantime, I am sure that the spreadness will be over soon and PSBB will no longer be an option to use until the end of the year. Besides that, PSBB, to inhibit or reduce the spread of COVID-19 virus, will have a major impact on Indonesia's fiscal and monetary economy policies. Of course, there are costs that must be paid directly or indirectly by the government. With this limitation, the longer PSBB, the more severe the economic impact, said the Institute for Development of Economics and Finance, Denny A. Purwanto. Therefore, I come along with the solution. The government must prepare a strategy in the economic sector to deal with the impact of the restrictions that have been implemented. That's all from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to highlight the opening opposition argument that said the prediction of the COVID-19 spreading will be end on the middle of this year, July. First of all, I strongly believe that we all know this virus is a new virus, and as you can see, at the fact the increasing of this year is getting higher day by day. You can predict something like this just by using the calculation of data. Even on China, that on the first flash, the pandemic seems to be end. Now it is increasing again. Ladies and gentlemen, as the first speaker of my team said, PSBB is the best way to prevent the spreading of the COVID-19. To make sure you understand, I will say it again, that PSBB is not mean you stay at home and doing nothing. You still can do your job by doing it at home and still can go it if you have an emergency status. It is not bad as you think. Ladies and gentlemen, the use of PSBB until the end of this year is to minimize your activity outside the house. But you can still be productive at home while the scientists and the government trying to cure this pandemic. This COVID-19 will end when we already got a vaccine that make our body know this virus and have the antibody for it, like vaccine for hepatitis and AIDS. Now,
According to Yeslin, the Minister of Research and Technology, they try to find a vaccine for the virus, but takes longer time because we need to know the base of the virus that mutate from COVID-19 to COVID types 2, like SARS-CoV-2. It is clear now that we need longer time to be free from this virus. That's why PSBB until the end of 2020 is the way. Therefore, for make sure the PSBB works well, the government already prepared every single needs of the society by still opening the drugstore, also the other important selling like food and others. The population needs to be in control to be able to make sure we want this pandemic ends, because the spreading will be fast by the direct socialization. Moreover, the positive impacts from PSBB is clearly seen in every aspect of human being and also nature, such as the increasing of air quality. Just imagine if we continue the PSBB until the end of 2020, we also protecting our nature from bad habits, and we usually do when we are outside. Then we continue to strengthen our family bonds at home while restoring our healthy. By doing everything at home, it also have a positive feedback to our personality. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the facts, I strongly agree that we must continue to apply the PSBB until the end of 2020 by looking at the fact in the society now. Thank you.